Hello and welcome to this video in the Lockdown Learning series where we're going to take a look at automation. So this is the first in 3 videos where we're going to look at automation. Now, as with many of the subjects within Cubase, there are a load of different ways we could slice this, but I'm going to take you through the way which I think works best for somebody who's a beginner and new to this, because it can get pretty complicated in a number of ways. So we're going to look at the way which will hopefully give you the most output for the least input. As you can see on screen, I've got a single track set up which has got Retrolog playing this arpeggiated bass figure. You get the idea. It's a nice sound. It's actually the first preset, so you can see here it's absolutely 80s, it's called. So what we're going to do is just look at how you can alter the controls on screen. So obviously at the moment, probably most of these controls will be a mystery, and that's fine. You're not expected to know all these things, but you can certainly feel free to have a tweak, because I'm just going to show you if you totally screw things up. So let's say you just changed all these controls and then it didn't sound the way you liked it. So let's just make it sound pretty... Yeah, there you go. So we're getting sort of nothing out of it. It's easy enough. Just change to a different preset and then change back again and you'll be back where you were. So that's the first thing. You can't break anything. Don't worry about doing it. So what we're going to look at is the easiest way that you can create automation. Okay, just follow these simple rules and everything will be fine, as they say. So first things first is we've got these controls. I'm just going to move Retrolog over so you can see we've got read, R, and W, which is write. So read automation means that Cubase will be playing back the automation that you've recorded, and write means that it will create it. It's like a record button for the automation. The important rule here is to make sure that you only have write turned on for as long as you need it, and then you turn it off straight away afterwards. Otherwise, all sorts of undesirable things can happen because you'll record other tweaking that you do, etc. So if you follow that rule, everything will be okay. Automation gets recorded even when you are just playing, so I'm going to show you that. So you don't need to hit record, so it's not the record button you need. This effectively is the record button for automation. Now, the control in question we want to play around with is the filter cutoff knob, which is generally the first control you'd want to go to with most subtractive synths. I'm just going to play it in real time and show you what happens. So we get that classic filter sweep kind of sound. Probably a thing you've heard a million times. And now you know what it is if you didn't know what that was. So yeah, filter cutoff is often the thing that people tweak on sounds on subtractive synths. So we're going to look at just creating automation. So this is going to start off low. So I've put it in the position I want it in, really low. So it's gone all the way down. Now I'm going to rewind to the beginning of the song. So you can now see our play position is at the beginning. I'm going to hit play once I've enabled write up here. And then I'm just going to tweak this control. So I'm going to enable write and notice that read gets turned on as well. I'm going to hit play, and then I'm going to start tweaking the cutoff knob. Okay, I've hit stop. Most important thing I need to do, turn right off, so I don't change the automation that I've done by accidentally hitting any controls or anything else on the channel. So now I'm going to rewind back to the beginning, and because we've got read turned on, you'll see that the cutoff is turned down, and if I press play, look what happens. You can see that this is mimicking exactly what I did with the control before. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that a automation track has appeared. We're going to be looking at that in the next video, so don't worry too much about that at the moment. We'll look at how you can edit that in the next video. But we can automate other controls as well. So once you've recorded this, when we're happy with this, let's say. So if you weren't happy with this, you can just do undo. So just hit undo. Like this, you can see undo write automation, and that would remove that automation, but I'm going to stick with that because I'm happy with that. But now I'm going to alter another control. So now I'm going to alter the resonance control as well as we go along. So it's exactly the same process. I turn write on, go back to the beginning, hit play, and then at the right time, I'm going to start playing around with the resonance control. Again, going to turn right off, go back to the beginning. As you can see, another track has been created here, the resonance track. Going to go back to the beginning, play that, and you'll see that not only the cutoff gets recorded, but also when I started playing with the resonance control, that's also been changed. So you can build up automation in multiple steps. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to be an octopus controlling multiple things. You can just do one thing at a time. Now, it's important to appreciate that this doesn't just work with instruments. It can also work with the mixer. So if we open up the mixer by hitting F3 on the keyboard, any of these controls which are here, so not only the channel fader, pan, but also the EQ controls, all of these can be automated in the same way as long as the right button is turned on and you play back and you start tweaking the controls. So I'm just going to do that with the volume fader so it's nice and clear what's happening, but any of these controls would have done the same thing. So again, back to the beginning of the song. Can get the mixer up. Open up the channel so you can see it more clearly. I'm going to hit play on the keyboard so we don't lose the window, but I've got right turned on. I'm going to hit play. And then when it gets a bit loud later on, I'm going to bring the volume down. So just that little tweak there. Going to hit stop. Again, turn right off. Back to the beginning. You can see it's popped up straight away. And it's going to follow exactly what I did. So you can see that that works, and you can just build up your automation layer by layer, control by control, until you've got loads of things happening. So this is why a lot of modern recordings you hear have got lots of detailed things happening in them. If you listen back to a house track in the 80s, there's not really much to it. They'll be very, I mean, I'm not saying they're not good, but you know, there's not a lot of detail in the production, not a lot of things are happening. Listen to a contemporary track, there's hundreds, if not thousands of things happening because it's possible to change all of these things at once. Even if you're working on your own on a laptop, you can just build this up layer by layer. So that's one way of creating automation data. We're going to look at how to edit it and a different way of creating it in the next couple of videos. I hope you found that useful, and I'll see you again soon.